Hi, my name's Aisha and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. In today's video, I'm going to be doing part one of my living room. It's not really a makeover, I suppose, because it wasn't looking bad before, it was just bare before. And so I'm going to be sorting it out basically, and this is part one. Don't forget to watch the video all the way through to the end. I'm still trying to get a little bit more watch time, so watch it through to the end, please, without skipping. That would help me out a lot. And don't forget to like the video if you like it. Leave your comments down below as well. Let me know whether you like what you're seeing so far, what you would do if you had the space, what would you introduce, what pieces of furniture. Let me know all of your thoughts. So this video is basically just me getting a few bits of furniture in and just showing you how it's all coming together at the moment. I did a bit of DIY wall art as well, which again you'll see in the video as it goes. You will have seen some of the pieces of furniture that I've gotten in already, because if you're checking out my community tab, or if it's popping up, sometimes I post pictures of what's been going on, so you may have seen those. So don't forget to check out the community tab. From time to time I'll post things there so you can see what I'm working on. Or don't forget, I've got my Instagram pages. So there's the When Love Is Projected one, which is supposed to be the main one, but it's actually not doing very well at the moment. But there's also the Heart of Hanbury one, which is where I post mainly about this house. And so you see lots of stuff, how it's coming together, and other little bits and pieces that I'm doing as well. Don't forget to follow me while you're over there so that you can see all the new content, and drop a few likes on some of my pictures as well. Also, over on my Heart of Hanbury Instagram account, there's a couple of offer codes. So you can get, I think one is a 15% off code and one is a 10% off code. One's for a digital wall art company. So there's lots of digital prints that you can choose from, and you can get 10% off of those. And the other one is a temporary one, and that is if you use my code, you can get 15% off of a company called Mahogany Street Official. And so yeah, use those codes if you're looking to buy anything for your home. I'll put the codes in the description below so you can see, you can check out a few things. So yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram, because there might be little treats there and you get to see things before I post them on here as well. So as I said, this is just part one, and in this video I'm getting some of the main bits of furniture in. What I do actually want to do in this room is wall panelling. I want a bit of a feature wall, and I don't want to just do it the basic way. So if you saw in my previous video, it was like a bedroom tour. I showed you the panelling that I'd done in my previous house, and that was just, it was just basic. It's just, there's not too much to it. You just cut MDF to size, you line it all up, and it's pretty easy. You just stick it to the wall. You might have to add a few nails in, fill all the gaps, sand it down and paint it, and you've got a feature wall, and it looks really good. It adds so much interest to the space. But I want to do something a little bit different, because I think most people have figured out that they can just easily DIY something like that, and I don't want to just do what everyone else is doing. I want to do something a little bit different, but I haven't figured out what that looks like in my mind yet, and so I need to figure out what I want on that wall. I'm also going to do some paneling in the downstairs toilet and maybe in the ensuite as well. So but they'll be different, so each space will have different paneling, just to kind of give a few ideas. I've got an interesting idea for the guest room as well. That wasn't supposed to be my room, but I haven't heard from the girl who was going to be doing it, so I'm just going to do it myself. But yeah, I've got a really good idea for that. So you'll see all the different spaces coming together in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe so that you get all of that. But yeah, at the moment there's a lot of blank walls, and it's just furniture and little bits of paint. That's kind of giving a bit of interest to the spaces, but I do want to go one step further. Also, I'm still waiting for the house to settle a little bit, so it's drying out still, so cracks are appearing, and then as I go around and do my bits, I can tidy up what I need to tidy up. Also, as like bits of furniture come in, then you scuff the walls and things like that, so I'm gonna need to like touch things up as well anyway. So once everything is kind of settled a bit, I can figure out what I want to do and make it look really good and interesting for you guys. Okay, I've been quite productive today because it's my day off, and I've managed to get quite a few deliveries, and I'm also doing quite a few things. The bathroom tiles are going in today, and so you'll probably see this outfit in quite a few videos. So the sofa's come today, which is great, because I haven't been able to use the front room much at all, because first there was no flooring, and as you saw in a previous video, it was basically the junk room. So it's no longer the junk room. The carpet's down, which is great, and the sofa is here. And then in 2 weeks' time, I'm expecting a delivery of the piano, which is really nice, because a lot of the things in this house are new, but the piano is a second-hand one. It's actually 100 years old, so I'm quite excited to get that and put it in the space. So I'll explain what I'm going to do with all of that, and as the video goes on, you'll see the decor and stuff as well. So the sofa is actually what started off the colour kind of theme. I was in John Lewis in the shop and I sat on the sofa that they had, and it was an orange sofa, but the material felt so good. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that sofa. So looking online, like, I don't know if anyone's ever shopped for a sofa at John Lewis. This is my first time doing it, but they have so many different styles and then so many different fabrics. So you can choose your fabrics, you can choose your style. And the fabric that I wanted was a velvet fabric, and it only came in selected colours. So it was like the bright orange that I saw. There was greens, there was greys as well. And I didn't want to go for another grey sofa because my previous sofa was grey, and yeah, it's quite nice, it's neutral, but it's a little bit boring. But I wanted the soft fabric, and so I thought, you know what, let's just go for green. It's a slightly different green to what's in the hallway, but this is what kind of started it off. The sofa was a little bit pricey, so I'll put a link for it in the description if anyone's interested in buying a similar thing or having a look at their sofas. But what happened is it just got delivered not long ago, and there was a tear on the bottom. So, you know, like the black fabric that they staple to the bottom of like sofas and chairs and stuff, just to kind of seal everything in, that had like the tiniest little tear in it. And so because it's defective, they said that I can either have 20% off or I can keep it and use it until they manage to get another one delivered. And because they make the sofas to order, it could take 12 weeks to get another sofa. So do you know what, 20% is looking quite nice as a return. So my bank account, I'm sure, will be happy to have the 20% back rather than wait 12 weeks potentially for delivery of another sofa when it's on the bottom, you can't see it, it's the tiniest little tear. And probably actually for much cheaper than the 20% return, I could get that black fabric and staple it to the bottom myself. It's quite simple. So that's what I'm going to do, which is quite nice. So it's cheaper than what it was in the shop. Okay, so the piano is here, which is good, and it's one of the main bits that I've been waiting for. So obviously I was waiting for the sofa to come because it's green, and the piano and the shutters because they're wood, and I wasn't quite sure of the tones that they would be. So once they come, I can start thinking about all of the other bits as well. So piano's here, it came today, and it works quite nice. It sounds quite nice. Sometimes they have like different tones to them, but this one sounds okay, which is good. I'm not a piano player, I wouldn't necessarily call myself that at all. I can play a couple of random songs, but the clarinet is my thing. I've said that before. I play clarinet and I play that well enough, but the piano not so much, but I plan to learn. I quite like having a piano at home because I've had a keyboard here and I've had a keyboard at my previous house as well. But I don't like keyboards. I much prefer pianos. Maybe that's just because what I'm used to. But I prefer the sound of them as well. It's like, I don't know, having an electric clarinet versus an acoustic clarinet. It just wouldn't compare. I wouldn't even attempt to get an electric clarinet. They do exist. So yeah, acoustic is much better. I prefer it. Also, it forces you to learn the keys as well, because some pianists, not all of them, some pianists can be quite lazy and they only know how to play in the key of C, because you can just press the button. You can just go up the keys. You can't do that on the clarinet or on a violin or something like that. So it forces you to learn how to play the piano properly, and that's what I want to do. My gran, however, she was a piano player and she played really well. She was amazing, and she used to play for her church. She was like a Methodist back in the day, and she used to play for church, and so she had loads of like hymn books around, and this one I actually did steal it from my mum's house, but I confessed to stealing it, and I told my mum what I was going to do it because I knew I wanted to do a video and I didn't want her to see me like taking pages out of the hymn book and then I'd have to answer some questions, so I confessed. But I wanted to do this video just to show that actually you can make art out of anything, and that's exactly what I've done. So I've pulled a couple of pages out of this book and I've put them in frames from IKEA, and I've just made them into art. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, then you'll know I usually have quite a lot of art on my walls, and I quite like DIY art because yes, you can go out and you can buy things, but actually a lot of the art that you can buy these days is quite simple. And it's not to say that it's not art, it's still art. But you can also DIY quite similar things, or you can make art yourself. Like this wasn't even me doing anything, like the page is already there. It's quite nice because these are like quite old looking, so they're kind of yellowy and it looks quite traditional, which again, so I've said in a previous video, in this house, although it's a new build, I'm trying to mix old with new. And so the piano, I think it's a 1920s piano, and so it's quite old, and then the music ties in with that, and then just how I set the room is going to be like a blend of old and new. So you'll see the coffee table in a minute as well, which is a nice glass one, and it's quite a good glass one actually. I got it from my sister and my brother-in-law. They gave it to me for free as a housewarming gift, and it's see-through, which is good because it makes the room seem a bit more open because you can see through it, and also it's more of a greeny kind of tinted green, so again it goes with the sofa quite nicely, so I really like it. So yeah, there's more modern materials like glass and things like that, and then there's the wood, which is more traditional. So yeah, just to say that you can make art out of anything. It could be music, it doesn't have to be music. It could be like an old book that you've had that's falling apart, like this one was falling apart. I wouldn't have done it if it was like all properly together. So you can just take an old book that maybe you like, or an old poem or something like that, put it in a frame, it's on the wall, it's art. As you walk past, it will remind you of something that you like or that you love, and it just makes the house feel a bit more like a home as well. So this is the piano here. It's a collared and collard, and it's about 100 years old or so. I think it's 1920s, it said. I don't have a piano stool yet. I have to get one from home. I had a friend when I was at secondary school. She gave us a piano for free, and we just had to pay for the delivery costs, and it came with a stool. So I'm going to leave the piano at mum's and take the stool. And that would be quite nice because it reminds me of that, which is good. This is what I was using when I didn't have a sofa. So I've definitely upgraded. But yeah, so this is the coffee table that my sister and brother-in-law gave me, and it's quite nice. This is what I was saying, so it's like got a green tint to it, so it goes really nicely with the sofa. And I still need to obviously style it and get bits for it, but that's pretty much it. Here I'm just marking up where all of the screws are going to go. I'd already planned out how many frames I wanted and what formation I wanted them to be in using the craft paper. So that's a good way of checking that everything is going to work out okay. You just cut the paper to the size of the frames and you stick them up on the wall with masking tape, and then you can step back and check that it's going to work out okay. Also, a good tip is to use the paper to then catch the bits where you're going to screw into, because it creates dust, and rather than pulling the furniture out, you can just take the paper off and put it in the bin. I didn't use any wall anchors for this. I just screwed the screws into the wall because the frames are really light, so they shouldn't fall off or anything like that. But in another video I'll show you how to put wall anchors in walls in new builds, because the walls are quite soft. Still got more to do on the other side. I'm deliberately avoiding that side because there's stuff there. There's more of these boxes and stuff. But there you go. And this is the art as well. So I picked songs that kind of, like my gran used to love playing that one. And some of them are like my favourites. And then some of them are just like nice prayers for the home. So yeah, I just thought I would... this is one of my favourite hymns. But yeah, and then I'm going to put a few more bits and pieces on top as well and sort of style it up properly. yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. As I said, there's more to come. There's the wall art, there's maybe shelving, there's new furniture, there's wall paneling, and so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share the video with someone if you think they might be interested in it. And also what I'll do is I'll leave some codes down below so that you can see where I got the different bits from. If you maybe want a piano, I know there was someone that messaged me on Instagram who wanted one, so you guys might want one as well. So I'll show you where I got it from. Obviously it's secondhand. Also you can pick them up free on Facebook as well. If you want a piano and you don't want to pay for one that's already been reconditioned, you can pick them up free on Facebook Marketplace. But the only thing with that is that you have to make sure that it's tuned properly and it's working. And I think a lot of people that give pianos away for free, you need to then do the tuning. There might be keys that stick a little bit, and so you're gonna then end up spending maybe about £700 on getting it like reconditioned and like restored and tuned. So that's why I made the decision to just get one that's already comes with that all included. And so it's a little bit more maybe, but it's a little bit less of a fuss. And you know, it's definitely been done, because you might get a piano, try and tune it and try and recondition it, and then they might say, actually, no, we can't do that because we can't fix that particular problem. So there are free ones out there. If you just want it for aesthetics, then by all means go and buy a free one. But if you actually want to play and use it properly, then I'll leave the link down below for where I got mine from. Seems an okay company. I've still got my first tuning to come, so I'll let you know how I get on with that and how I feel about the overall process maybe in the next video. I think the next video is probably going to be the shutters, and so maybe I'll show those being installed, and we'll see maybe if the company wants to talk a little bit about shutters and kind of introduce themselves as a company, and then if you want to order from them, you can order from them as well. But if they're feeling a little bit shy, then I'll just talk you through what you need to know about shutters, and also I'll leave all of their contact details and everything in that video as well so that you can see. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave your comments, like the video if you've liked it, share it with a friend if you think there's anyone that might be interested in this video, and I will see you in the next video. You take care of yourself.